There's a lot of heritage and a lot of history in growing tobacco in Virginia. The golden leaf has paid the bills for thousands of farm families and helped their children to go to college. Jim Jennings and his son run their tobacco and grain operation, and he says tobacco has provided the kind of lifestyle and work ethic that's still rewarding to those who choose to do it. Tobacco was once sold at auction, and how much you grew was set by a government quota. And that all changed in 2004.
The current system of growing and raising tobacco is strictly contract. You contract with either a tobacco manufacturer or a leaf dealer, and you deliver to one of their receiving stations. You're under contract, you know how many pounds you're going to grow, you know what their grading scale is, you know what the prices are for the grading scale that they have. I'm actually growing almost 4 times more than I did at the end of the quota system.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture confirms more tobacco is being grown in Virginia now than 5 years ago. In 2007, just a few years after the tobacco buyout program ended the quota system, Virginia had 892 tobacco farms producing 43 million pounds of leaf worth $68 million. In 2012, there were only 557 tobacco farms in Virginia producing 53 million pounds of leaf worth more than $100 million. State agriculture experts report that tobacco acreage is down about 13% in 2015, but they don't expect that to be a trend.
Right where we are in Mecklenburg County, Virginia, the last year of the quota, they grew 2,800 acres. This year, it's about 4,000 acres of tobacco grown in Mecklenburg County. Tobacco in the state of Virginia is alive and well. I mean, it's flourishing. People do really good with it. You've got more options now with the quota gone. You can use a stronger rotation and be able to use more land opportunities in your area and that kind of thing.
Jennings says if you have a high-quality crop, you pretty much know what your income is going to be for that year. The problems come when the weather turns either too wet or too dry, which affects the quality. And you have to know a lot more about growing a quality crop to be successful.
Tobacco loves to be rotated with other crops. A really good rotation would be 1 year in tobacco and 2 years in maybe a small grain wheat or soybeans or something like that. Most of my crop is in like 1 in, 1 out. I have some in a 1 in, 2 out.
In the last century, Virginia flue-cured tobacco was grown in part of what was called the Old Belt, from Southside Virginia, northern North Carolina, and the southwestern part of Virginia. This was some of the most desired tobacco on world markets due to its high quality. Jennings says raising tobacco has always been hard work, but there's always been a sense you're part of growing something unique and special.
You still have the romance, you just don't have as much time for it. It's kind of like everything, you don't get any breaks anymore. It's, finish one job, go to the next. You don't finish anything, you just quit and go home that day and start back the next day where you stopped the day before. You got to make pounds per acre and you got to have high quality tobacco. And you need to do both of them consistently every year because that's what they want. If you bring high quality tobacco to whoever you've contracted with, you're going to keep growing tobacco.
There are also non-monetary rewards to raising a crop with such a rich legacy in Virginia.
And it is absolutely one of the most rewarding crops to grow just from a visual. When you plant it, and when you plant the seed in February, it's about the size of a grain of pepper. You can't even see it hardly. And then it turns into this right here. I mean, it's just absolutely beautiful crop to watch grow. My father grew tobacco on the farms, some of the farms that I'm growing tobacco on too. Talking about how things have changed. The land that I'm farming right now, in 1964, 27 farm families were farming that land.
Jennings feels that the new system makes selling his tobacco easier, but the standards are much higher than before. Like most farmers still growing tobacco, he's done it all his life and still enjoys it. In Mecklenburg County, Virginia, this is Norm Hyde reporting.